seconds as everybody kind of looks around the room and realizes that nobody thought of it.
Well, in the original is almost like a social satire. It's almost like a satire on just the state of the city of New York itself and its people. I mean, because even in a crisis like this, people are still cracking jokes. People are just still kind of being shitty to each other. And in this movie, they try to capture some of that humor, mainly through the mayor, played by James Gandolfini, who was actually pretty funny. Mm-hmm. And I like those moments where they do that. Even Denzel Washington, there's a lot of lines that he has that are funny. Denzel Washington's character in this movie is very funny. John Travolta is good, but he cannot keep his head still. He's like a bobblehead when he delivers those scenes.
No, absolutely.
Was he like early George Clooney?
Yeah, worse. I mean, it was a moment where he starts shaking his head and it just gets faster and faster. I thought it was going to explode.
It was like Vinnie Barbarino hopped up on coke. It was just like,
it was crazy. Like, hey, Mr. Washington, I want my money today, motherfucker. Okay, but it's like
I forgot to add in another motherfucker.
Oh, no, I did put a motherfucker in there.
No, another motherfucker.
Oh, motherfucker on top of that motherfucker. That's right.
He says motherfucker so often. You could make it a drinking game, but I would not recommend it because that's how sorority girls die.
I'm sure Samuel Jackson is going to send him a cease and desist. Like, dude, you're stealing my shit.
Yeah, no, hey, motherfucker, that's mine. Motherfucker.
But I think it's proof that white guys, no matter how hard we try, we just can't pull off the motherfucker.
It was okay because I kind of took him kind of as a redneck guy until they explain what his character's about, and it just does not fit. I want to explain what he's doing, what his motive is, and what he was before he got to this point in the movie. John Travolta's character, whose name is Ryder.
But it was an odd way to play the character, given that.
Well, see, okay, I only got to see the very beginning of it because we all went to that first screening where it fucked up, and you guys got to go to see the whole thing. But I just thought maybe he was pulling like a Jerry Reed in The Survivors, where he's like trying to pretend to be, some kind of dumb redneck character, but actually wasn't.
And when he said it once, because he says motherfucker, and I'm like, I've been cussed out by rednecks that sound like that.
He's not as smart as they're like, oh, he's real smart. It's like, really? Because he pretty much gives away the big, most important thing for the cops not to find out in the first 20 seconds he's on the microphone, really, just by the way he speaks.
Oh, yeah, no. And they even explain that in a way. It's kind of like, this guy just does not give a shit. He can live or die. He just wants one thing, and if he doesn't get it, he's ready to die.
He's lost it. He's seeing red.
Yeah. Now, but the thing that got me with him, is that at the beginning of the movie, he's walking down the street and they're playing Jay-Z's, 99 Problems, and it's like, and all that combined, it's obvious that he's about to do something wrong. He's like, this guy is a bad guy. He might as well have been walking down, because he's walking down the street not only with shades and a tattoo of a gun on his neck, but he's got that handlebar biker mustache. He's got all black on. I'm like, he might as well go down the street with a sandwich board that says, I'm a villain, a neon sign over his head says, I'm about to do some crazy shit. It's like, who would not stop this guy just a minute?
How about New Yorkers wouldn't stop that guy? Because New York is filled with those guys.
Yeah, this isn't Austin. Yeah, that guy walking around here, the security cameras automatically put on him.
In Blade, Wesley Snipes is wearing all black leather, black shades, and a big ass samurai sword sticking out his back, walking down the street in the middle of the day, and that was stops him.
Because when you see a black guy walking down the street with a samurai sword,
you don't make eye contact.
You look the other way.
You don't say anything about that. But John Travolta, I mean, because John Travolta is a guy that would be, the thing that was missing is that he wasn't talking to himself. People like that in New York, they talk to themselves, so you know that they're not going to do shit. But him, he's too quiet. He's up to something.
What you brought up about his language and how all that works, that all makes sense when they explain what happens with him. You look at his background and you think it doesn't make sense, but what they explain happens in a 10-year period totally makes sense once you put it together and go, oh yeah, no, that totally works. A lot of this stuff really works when you sit down and think about it, and it holds together. And that's what makes me so angry about the third act, is that it really is just this boring, stupid chase stuff that doesn't belong in the film. If I remember the original correctly, the original doesn't end anywhere near like that. And
it's close. I mean, but I guess it's the subtlety of it, that because they do. That's the thing I love about the original, is that it was an action film. This is the original in 1974 was like Speed, which everybody's crazy about. When you feel that intenseness, because in this movie they are just wrecking cars, so they can wreck cars. Yeah. I mean, they there's somebody. It's almost like the set just pulled. They pushed a taxi cab out in the middle of nowhere just so they could hit it. It was like a taxi. It was like the cab driver said, you know what? what am I supposed to be doing? Oh, I'm in a Tony Scott film. I'm supposed to drive out in front of this truck right here. Bam!
And they've been on the road for 10 minutes at that point. I mean, come on. They managed to clear the road for the Ghostbusters in 2. I think, in this case,
Yes, and
they
when
would have
we're-
made sure no one was coming out.
And when we're looking for films that have authentic New York reality, we turn to Ghostbusters.
Man, you're just
Ghostbusters
Captain
Blade.
diffusing the joke today. Jesus
No,
Christ.
I mean, in this movie, it really is like I said. These arbitrary car chases. In the original, it was like when they hit a car for the purpose of hitting a car, so that you actually felt like they were being slowed down. Everything fell in place. This one, like you said, it's the third act that falls apart because it is just a straight action film. And I was ready not to like the movie, but I was really enjoying the exchange between. They are the heart of the movie. Even though and it's almost to a point where it's like overkill how they're the yin and yang, because John Travolta has an earring in the right ear, Denzel Washington has an earring in the left ear, and it's like, oh, they're them,
Does that get pointed out?
Ebony
yes,
and Ivory.
no, it doesn't get pointed out, but you're looking at it, it's kind of like, oh, visually, come on, man, we don't need all that shit, all right? We get it. They're the opposites of each other, but they need each other.
Yeah, no, I mean, the supporting cast does what they're supposed to do. I mean, as you said, James Gandolfini is funny. John Turturro, I really was waiting for him to become annoying, and he never crosses that line. You're like, okay, actually, he does what he should do. He's efficient in this role. It's just those dumb action scenes that diffuse the whole thing, and the ending, which is like, you know what? That 20-minute ending should have been 5 minutes. The rest of the movie should have just been that really tense scenes in the transit station between the two. I don't know. Are we doing our ratings now? Because if that's the case, I'm going to say this is a matinee. I wish it was a full price because there's so much I really loved, and yet it just so thoroughly peters out at points.
I am so right on the same page with Cyrus with this. I want this to be a full price. It should be for me. I'm one of the biggest Tony Scott fans on the planet. I'm a huge Brian Helgeland fan. I went into this really pumped. I was really satisfied the first 2 acts. And then I couldn't believe just how it unraveled. And it's like, no! And so it really is. It's a matinee film, and it's only a matinee to see exactly as you guys said, to see those great exchanges between these 2 great actors.
Yeah, I hate to keep bringing this up, but after like the 5th motherfucker, just based on that alone, I was like, well, this is a matinee. And it continued to be a matinee through the whole film. The first half of the movie is not great, but it is good to see this exchange between a really insecure Denzel Washington and an overconfident John Travolta. That's the heart of the movie. Now, when you remove that heart of the movie, it enters the level of a subpar action film. And not to mention that there's this really gratuitous shootout at the end that brought the movie down a few notches more for me. If you've seen everything else, or if you want to waste some time and go see a movie at a theater where it's air conditioned, then this is what you go see.
Well, let me
So-
ask you guys this.
Wait, just one quick thing. So you're giving it a matinee based on the 5th motherfucker. Does that make it a motherfucking A?
A motherfucking A?
This makes it a motherfucking B, technically.
Yeah. So motherfucking
Matinee, motherfucker. I don't have to explain this to you.
Oh, is that where you were going with that?
Matinee, motherfucker, motherfucking A.
Yeah, no, that was no connection.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn.
Hey, these are the jokes, people.
I was ready to back you up too. I was like,
These are the jokes.
I don't see what he's saying. Wait, that's what
I know I saw you. You don't know what he's talking about. And I was like, if any joke needed Tony Scott to edit it's that joke right there. But yeah, matinee.
Shit, if only we could edit this down.
And one thing I like to point out is I love how the inside of the dispatch office where Denzel Washington is working is like the Enterprise.
Oh, it's so like
It's like they have the latest hologram technology. It's like Denzel is sitting right next to Spock, who's also working on Subway.
Well, it makes you wonder. It's like, wait, if the office is that nice, why are the trains so shitty?
Because
I
all
mean,
the
that's something people actually have to ride in.
Because all the money spent on the office. That's why. Because all
I
the
guess
money.
they got a vote, and they were the ones who got the vote on it.
Let me get this straight. What you guys are having a problem with is believing that the money spent by white collar workers in an office would go towards the white collar workers' office rather than the blue collar workers' environment.
Fair
Is
enough.
that what you're saying?
Half the budget went to the Subway sandwiches that Denzel ate in this movie.
Have you ever been into an executive bat washroom? It's more expensive than a whole bay of cubicles.
I gotta say though, I didn't have the same problem you did with John Travolta. I actually really liked him in this, and I almost never like John Travolta in anything anymore. Although, to be fair, I did keep expecting Nicolas Cage to show up and ask for his face back.
Oh, I'm so glad Nicolas Cage went off to do another movie while this happened.
Anything. I mean, put John Travolta. I mean, he's good in the movie. I like him in this film. I think he should have been given a neck brace, though.
I think we should put him back in the bubble.
I am with Cyrus, where I haven't liked him in anything, and in the 20 garbled minutes of this I got to see, I did really like him a lot.
Did you guys forget about Hairspray that he just did like 2 years ago?
I liked him okay in it.
Yeah, I liked him okay in it. I wasn't blown away by it.
Yeah.
I mean, and I really like that movie a lot.
Yeah, me too.
But he's not my favorite thing.
You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
he's just, the problem with him is in the last few years, he's just chosen such shitty projects, you know, like Wild
He's chosen
Hogs.
things that
And,
he himself has not been, he hasn't shined in.
no. Well, yeah, but he's, you can't polish a turd.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you can, he's not the one who's going to be able to do it.
That's right.